Welcome traders to our post-week market review. So jumping straight into things here from where the market originally opened up, which was this candlestick right here. As you can see, price initially gave us a nice bullish push, carrying price up to a new all-time high and giving us a break of structure of a previous point of interest. So first things first, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to work sort of left to right, top to bottom, bottom to top, and mark in any levels that we might want to mark in or take into consideration. So the first level is going to be this level here. Reason I'm marking that in is because it is simply that newly created all-time high for this level, and you can also see on the lower time frames that price ended up rejecting off of this area as a resistance multiple times. From there then, throughout the Asian session, we saw an enormous amount of bullish volume enter within the markets, pushing price all the way up, almost 2,000 pips away from the previous all-time high, creating another all-time high of around 4,888. Obviously, we spoke about this in our last technical analysis, but I'll go over it again. So again, working left to right, bottom to top, just marking in any levels that I see fit. One little level is going to be here. You can see that price did stutter when we came to this level. I'm sure if we check the lower time frames, we could see price reacting to this level. One thing I do need to make sure is that it is just showing on our hourly time frame before I draw too many boxes in, and it's a headache to recreate them. All right, cool. So again, price came to this level. We saw a little bit of a starter before we obviously saw price push to this next level. So again, we're going to mark in this area here as it is an all-time high, and you can see that price did reject off of this level again, and we did see some sort of reaction happen when price moved into this level. From there then, as you can see, after that all-time high was created, price pulled back down to test on this previous level as a support. We also created a higher low on a overall higher time frame, created that higher high and then the higher low, and then price ended up continuing on in a bullish fashion, breaking past our previously made all-time high, giving us a break of structure of our point of interest and our all-time high, and continued on up, creating another point of interest or another all-time high around this level here, just below sort of that 5,000 mark. As you can see, again, price gave that same sort of formation where we created that higher high and then created a higher low, and price is now sort of just finished creating that next higher high. Price did push above this level, created a new all-time high, and then dropped back down the lower time frames. For example, if I show you, you can see if I go even lower, you can see that price initially pushed past. We saw price create a new all-time high, and then we saw price drop back down a couple of times on the lower time frames, testing what looks to be a sort of previous level of resistance. You can see price reacting off of this level as a resistance on the previous all-time high, and then price has come back down to give us sort of a break and retest pattern, and price has continued in sort of a consolidating fashion as the market volume has exited upon coming closer and closer to that market close. So going back to our hourly time frame, what could we expect for gold for this next week? So overall signs, overall price action, everything that we're seeing is bullish. There are no real signs of any bearish flips. The reason for gold continuing to push as strong as it is due to the political status of the world as of right now. Obviously, if you are in touch with the news and are looking at other things happening outside of the financial world, for example, political movements from Trump's advancements towards the whole Greenland situation, the dollar will in fact weaken from stuff like that happening. People will get sort of that fear factor will jump in, and people will be sort of steering away from the dollar and reinvesting their money into gold, as to the reason you can see the price of gold continuing to just completely rally to newer highs each sort of day. But I think at some point we are going to expect price to give us some sort of rejection. I think we could potentially see sort of double the size of something like this. So potentially if we saw bearish momentum start the week off, we could potentially see price drop down to around that 4,750 mark. If we don't see that and we just see a continuation, then price is just going to continue on higher. I think the next level that we can take into consideration for sure, I think it's going to be a big psychological level, is the level of 5,000. What I'll go ahead and do is I will just mark this in a little purple color, and we'll keep this in mind for our sort of midweek technical analysis video, and we'll see if price actually did go and test this level or not, or if it just flew straight past it. But I think that level of 5,000, and for people to see sort of, okay, an ounce of gold is now worth $5,000, that is a significant thing. It's a big thing mentally, and it's also a big thing factually for the financial world and for the sort of material or asset side of the world, because 5,000 is a crazy number for 1 ounce of gold. Obviously, if I go to our weekly time frame, you can see the real effects of that. I mean, you can see all the way down here. We saw in sort of 1970, we were seeing $35 an ounce for gold. So if you really think about that there, it's a crazy jump. But again, if we just stay on our weekly for a second, you can see that the bullish increase is ridiculous. I don't think we'll really see a drop, even sort of through COVID was negative on most economies, but obviously a gold price would have gone up. As you can see, price went up, continued up as the currency pairs would have weakened. So for example, especially the dollar would have weakened, so gold's price would have gone up, and so on and so forth. The only thing that could affect gold's price, or we see a big rejection, is if Trump continues with these advancements to Greenland and other political stuff in the world. But obviously the main thing right now happening inside America is Trump trying to move towards that Greenland move. And if that does take place and that does benefit the US economy, then we will see the price drop of gold as people will have more confidence in the dollar. But until then, price will continue to rise. So I think overall this next week coming, we're going to see bullish momentum overall continue to push price higher and higher. I think once we're above that 5,000 level, there might be a little bit of wiggle room for the sellers to jump in and then really start driving the price down. But I think until then, we're going to see continued bullish momentum and just see newer all-time highs created. Higher highs and higher low formation is what we're currently in right now. We haven't seen a flip, so we will continue to expect that we will see another higher high made, followed by a higher low, and so on and so forth, until we see a lower high and a lower low made, and then we know that we have sort of fallen out of that higher high, higher low formation. So yeah, that's pretty much it for our post-week market review. As always, I hope you've all enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely comment if you can. Just let me know what you think of the video. Let me know if you want to see something else. Let me know if you have any cool video ideas. We have a few that we're working on right now, or that I'm working on right now. So just drop them in the comments below. I'll be sure to read through them, and if they're worth it, I'll definitely get a video recorded and get that put out for you lot. So yeah, but that's going to be our post-week market review, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.